And we are live. It's
Yes.
great to see you there, my good buddy,
I'm-
Pretty Fly, for a Filipino guy. How are you?
Hi there, comic book guys and gals. Welcome to another episode of Matt Woods Watch. No,
What?
I'm not gonna be
Matt
like
Woods Watch, the comic book Marauders. All right. Now,
There you go.
yeah, but hey, Lenny and I were talking, okay? We do a lot of freestyling, and he is a wild and crazy character. Okay, remember Steve Martin from Saturday Night Live, wild and crazy guy? Well, that is Pretty Fly for a Filipino guy. So we're going to do a lot of ad lib and just have fun, and we want to see a lot of comments in the chat to give us a lot of talking points. Okay, but
We should do some Mad Libs, dude.
Oh, I love Mad Libs. But anyhow, we did say we're going to start talking about movies, and a little bit. You say that you know a little bit about movies, so just a smidge. So, what's going on with the #1 movie in America this past weekend?
Wait, that would be wait, what was it? Sorry, my daughter distracted me for a second. Wait, what was the #1 movie in America? See,
Shazam!
This past week or this week?
That
would be this
past
weekend.
week. Uh-oh. I'm actually not getting the chat to show up where I'm at. I got to look on an iPad, so for some reason my comments aren't working. Oh, hey, we just found them. Okay, so before we go into talking about Shazam, let's start talking to some of the great people that showed up in the chat. This is the guest for next week, Steve White. Great to see you. My good buddy, the OG. Okay. She says she wants you to get rid of the facial hair here, Lenny.
The razor broke, Tina. I'm sorry.
Actually, I'm just making that up. I don't think Tina ever said that. But Richard Veith is in here. He has to brag. He was digging through his stuff and found 5 unopened packs of Topps Batman return cards.
Nice.
It's worth nothing now. Worth next to nothing. But hey, he does have them. Okay.
One saying hi to us is another man's structure.
Yeah, that's right, man. Seth, 11. Great to see you. Seth is such a good dude. Okay. Tina's congratulating Seth. Oh, look at this. Trev, the guru. Okay.
There he is.
From
Speaking
the
of cards,
town of Wichita Falls.
Wow, one of my favorite card run. The 92,
is that the Batman Returns run or?
No, the Masterpiece Junko or Justco run on
Joe Jusco.
Marvel Masterpieces.
Back
in 92. 92, I was collecting it.
This is my good brother right here. Okay, Nicholas Gultra. So glad he's so I am having a first for me. Tulsa comic book swap at the Glenpool Conference Center. And Nicholas is getting a shirt ready for that comic book show. So looking forward to seeing that. And it is a $45 sponsored spot. Okay, for a colored front and white back with the sponsor logo or name. Heck, you could just put your own name on there. I think Nick, would you like that, Nicholas Culture? And this guy, he has been missing. And there is where in the world is the Jackson Roy Kirk going around right now? And so he's finally starting to show his head again. And honestly, I wish he would put it back. Okay. We don't need any more Jackson Roy Kirk. But Lenny, do you know Jackson Roy Kirk?
I've seen his name a few times, and I may have chatted with him during the shows.
He is an awesome dude. He is a great comic book collector. Loves Conan, but #1, he loves Star Trek. And I've been watching the new Star Trek Picard series.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. And I love Star Trek. But episode 4, episode 5, I think it's the greatest episodes in all of Star Trek. And I'm talking the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, the movies. Right now, Picard is doing amazing.
Right, because from what because I'm more of a Star Wars guy, but from what I hear from other Star Trek fans, that they weren't too happy with the first few seasons of Picard,
Mm,
and now it's picking up. Or
they were trash. I absolutely was just not liking it, but a friend of mine at
wait,
work, he's
you
telling
stuck
me
with it?
all about it. He goes, "You gotta watch it." I'm like, "All right, all right, all right, okay."
Yeah,
And I am a Star Trek fan, so
yeah.
uh,
Because there's a lot of distaste for a new Star Trek ever since Abrams, the one with
the movies,
Chris
yeah.
Pine.
I
Yeah,
actually like the movies. I thought the Star Trek, the J.J. Abrams movies were actually pretty good.
I think he made it appealing for non-Star Trek fans, but I could see for hardcore Star Trek fans how they might not appreciate his adaptation.
Whenever, listen, I do think you're right. Okay. If you were a non Star Trek fan, they were good, fun movies because they introduced you to a lot. But
Yeah,
there was a little bit of like homage or homages to like the old shows. Like there was one scene where there was a young Kirk who was still in the academy and he had a green girlfriend at the moment. Okay. I don't know if it was a girlfriend, but anyhow, she was green. So I kind of did like that.
well, a couple of my ex-girlfriends turned green after our first date, so we have that in
Oh
common.
yeah, that's happened to me too. After they saw me for the first time, yeah, you know.
Yes, yeah. That's why you and I are good buds, man.
This is right.
Share a
Okay,
lot of similar life experiences.
I have a radio face. So,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right, what happened to Shazam?
Oof, what happened?
Ooh.
I mean,
Hey
now
Gary,
I can feel I feel Joe like just tugging me right now because we're gonna do a live episode
you,
for
he had an
DC
event
Watch.
with his Joe could not make it tonight because he has an event with
Hmm.
friends that he couldn't reschedule. So he's not here to tug on you. Okay.
Yeah, well, I do have his DMs. Like, make sure you can don't say too much about Shazam because we're gonna do a show on Friday. I can show you the DM right now.
Oh
Tell you
geez.
guys, I joke about people think I joke about when I call Joe my boss, but he is my boss.
He drives a hard bargain.
It's that hard, tough New Yorker in him, I guess. He's very
Yeah,
persuasive,
but
and he has Bruno in his pocket too. So,
yeah, I'm not messing with Bruno. Bruno
yeah,
scares
don't
me.
mess
But
with
you know
Joe.
who
Don't
scares
mess
me
with
more
Joe.
than anyone else? Mrs. Joe Travato, okay? Because
Oh, yeah,
Joe's that tough. She's a lot tougher, okay? She's the one
yeah,
that
yeah.
runs that household, not
Men are
Bruno.
head of the house, but it's the women that turn the neck.
Oh yeah, exactly. But Shazam, like, what happened? Like, it gained $30 million, which it was only expected to get 35, $40 million, but it didn't even make expectations. The
It's
budget
like,
was over 200 million. Like, I'm
yeah.
hoping this is not a disaster.
I mean, I think a lot of these movies took a hit once James Gunn announced his slate, and a lot of the comments I've been seeing are like, "Oh, this movie doesn't matter" and stuff like that. So you know, as
It
and
does
and
matter
and
though.
that's the annoying part. I actually did see it. I saw it. When was that? Friday, and I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna give
Yeah.
a full review, Joe. Don't worry. Okay, I'm gonna save it for the show. It's like, but
Yeah.
it's a shame that a lot of I don't think the Rotten Tomato scores are an accurate reflection of the
No.
movie. Even though
Those
ironically
are critics.
we did an episode previously about how the Rotten Tomato score did favorable or did the first one, like support the first one really well because it
Yeah.
scored like a 90%, but
But not this one. See,
at this one,
here's where I think these movies have to matter. Okay. Whenever the superhero movies start to lose money, whenever the comic book movies start to lose money and they're not a sure thing, well, then there won't be as many. Okay. And some
yeah,
people want that. Some people are just, they've had enough superhero movies, but like, I kind of
critics
enjoy them. So,
critics are hard on comic book movies now. Now that MCU is kind of losing its luster, so
yes.
the critics are man, they're becoming relentless to the genre.
I know. What was the last MCU movie that came out just a month or two ago?
Ant-Man. Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. Yes. Listen,
Which I also liked. It wasn't as
yeah,
bad as which I also like. It's
the Rotten Tomato
hands
score
down
for that was bad. I actually liked that movie. Like it really
way
was
better than Thor: Love and Thunder. I couldn't even. I tried watching that movie. I couldn't even get through the first half of that movie.
Oh, I fell asleep. I couldn't watch the Love and Thunder. Okay, the only thing that the damn screaming goats kept waking me up. I hear them.
Are goats
I'm
really
in
like
the
that?
movie theater, kept getting woken up by these goats. It's not a good scene. And I actually started to like the goats after a while. They weren't as annoying when I wasn't sleeping.
It was too much of a Taika in the movie, you know. His because I'm sure I'm in the minority, but I did not like Ragnarok as well. So once
You're in the minority, buddy, because that was a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't clamoring like for it, but once he said that Love and Thunder is even funnier than Ragnarok, I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Oh, man.
But you know what? This DC fan gave it a fair shot. I did try and watch it.
Good for you. And whenever I say I fell asleep in Love and Thunder, I did watch it a second time, and honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Whenever I rewatched it, I think I was tired that day, and it was a little too goofy, so I fell asleep. But Gary B. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm saying like as soon as Jane Foster was trying to come up with a good, catchphrase on how what to say before he he beats up a bad guy. It's like oh, all right, turn it off.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Trying to figure out she was trying to figure out what her catchphrase was. I'm like,
yeah, it was weak, but Gary B, who's a great YouTuber, and guys, please make sure you're subbing up to Gary B. I'm sure Shazam is a fine movie, and people just want to hate, which is kind of what you just said. The critics are beating up on the comic book movies right now, and they're just not in big favor.
Yeah. Hey Matt. What did the sushi say to the bee?
Oh, gosh. What does the sushi say to the bee?
Yeah.
I don't know. What is it?
What's up, bee? What's up, bee? Like wasabi. Never mind.
Wasabi. I gotcha.
What's up, bee?
I'll probably tell that tomorrow. Okay, that's actually not horrible. All right. Howdy, y'all. Okay, he's just popping in to say hello.
What's up?
Richard V saying hi back to him. Oh, we got
I gotta watch my language. I gotta watch my language because Phil Tastic likes to watch the show with his kid.
So. Ooh, I think I just dropped a 4-letter word too. Oh, my bad, Phil. We'll put me in timeout, okay? But Steve White, I think a lot of people are doing what you just said right there.
Mm-hmm.
Because listen, the reality of the world is starting to take effect in movies. The prices of movies are really getting kind of almost ridiculous. If you have a family of 4, and once you get the popcorn, once you get the tickets, you're talking well over $100 just to go watch a movie. When if you just wait a couple months and you have the streaming service to go with it, boom, you're watching it sitting right in your own home.
True.
But I wonder, how does that money relate back to Hollywood? Like, how much of that pie of that streaming service is Hollywood actually getting?
I don't think the streaming service is that profitable because there can only so many people that can subscribe to Netflix, for example. Yeah. And for the way that the measure success is, they keep, they want to see that their numbers of new subscribers keep going up. They don't care about the people that are already subscribing. They care about new subscribers, but eventually that's going to hit a cap.
Yeah, I mean, and there's just a limit.
Yeah, and I've had this kind of, not argument, but this discussion with Reggie, because I don't want to put words in his mouth, but for me, to me, it's just like the streaming service is just like another version of pay-per-view that we used to have. That's just an extension. They still need to make money on both ticket sales, the the pay-per-views, the streaming, and even in physical media. They're Warner Brothers is still putting out physical media because, if there's money, don't get rid of it. So my point is that this streaming stuff is just a part of the old model. And they should still treat movies and all the physical media as still part of the money-making machine. Streaming service is just one cog.
No, I agree with you. And I remember HBO, back in the early 80s, I was waiting for movies to come out on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
But it took like 6 months after the movie was released before it ever came to HBO.
Yeah.
Well, that made people who didn't want to wait go to the movie theater. Whereas right now, like half the movies, man, they come out instantly. And I would rather that's $20 to watch it at home on my big screen TV, where I can just go out to the kitchen if I want to drink or something and not have to pay $10.
Right. I
mean,
I do the same thing for Thor, right? Yeah, but I still think there's still an experience that you're missing by not going to the theater. There's still this communal experience, because I've seen movies that I liked in the theaters, but once I sat by myself and watched the movie, this wasn't as good, because you get caught up with people laughing with the jokes, and but and we're and this is a bigger problem for me, is that we're losing a lot of communal things that we don't do anymore, because we're this is taking up that, like
I have seen teenagers in a group, and I don't want to knock teenagers. I've seen adults do it too, but they're all in a group hanging out, walking in a shopping mall or wherever, and they're all like, their faces are in their phones.
And they're probably texting to one another. They're probably texting to one another with one another, and they're like right next to each other.
I suspect sometimes they are texting each other, but
they're like they're right there next to each other. But that's what I mean, though. It's like we've had. I don't want to be the last generation to have that water cooler experience.
I don't want to say I think we are the last, but our societies evolve. Societies have problems, and they learn how to deal with them. And one of our problems is lack of direct interaction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how we're going to solve it, but we will.
Like even with like TV shows, like you want to talk about a TV show with somebody, you got to make sure, okay, have you seen all of it? Are you caught up? Or it's like back in the 90s, unless you recorded on your VCR, you missed it.
Yeah, that ship sailed.
And kids, VCR are these machines this big where you put a tape and you record.
Oh, and kids, you would have loved Laserdisc. So you're watching a movie, and it was relatively high def, pretty much like a DVD. But then halfway through the movie, you'd have to get up, and then you'd walk over to it, pop this big disc that was the size of a third, and flip it over so you can finish the other half.
Unless you had
I never had a video.
Unless you had money that had those things that would flip it for you.
Didn't even know there was such a thing.
Yeah.
I never had a video disc, but let's see. People are saying, Phil, my prediction, you will see fewer superhero films positively reviewed because Hollywood wants to move past them. There might be a little bit of truth to that. Okay. Yeah, because there's other genres out there that are just waiting.
Well, and I don't blame them, because from phase 1 to 3 of Marvel, it's hard to not it's hard not to ignore Marvel, because the content was so good.
It was
not all of them, but for the most part.
Yeah, there were some stinkers there. Iron Man 3, and whenever I say that, even the stinkers were still decent movies. Iron Man 3, Thor, Dark World was, they all weren't the greatest movie ever, but there were a lot of good ones. Jackson here thinks we're getting super hero movie fatigue. Though, and I say that maybe that's happening, but I question this. is it the audience having fatigue, or are the writers, the screenwriters, the directors, are they starting to lose their creativity and they're just pushing them out because they're big money makers? I question whether or not the same qualities are being put out, or same quality of movies.
You and I have been comic book fans, and we know there are tons of good stories that they can tell.
Oh,
But I
100%.
think what's really, but I think what's really, slowing things down is the manipulation by studios, because they are money making machines. So they want to have their hands on it rather than letting the creatives do what they're supposed to do. Focus groups. Oh, let's make sure we get this demographic. Oh, by including this character, even though it has nothing to do with the story. That stuff like that. And
Ooh.
being a Snyder fan, I have first-hand experience of that intervention. With his Justice League. So that's the
On a
thing.
good point there.
Yeah,
So you
greedy
think
people
there's a
mess
lot of
things up.
people, that are funding the movie that are telling the directors how to move it
That's
to
that,
appeal to
that's
people?
that's the reality of the business. It's the money. I mean, I've written and directed a movie that went to festivals, and I my crew like came up with the money for that, so we could do whatever we want. But if you're borrowing money and you're asking money, and the money people want to see it this way,
You're going to do it. Yeah.
yeah, whether it fits your vision or not, you know. So
Yeah. And sometimes just telling a
it's
good
greed.
story.
Greed tarnishes everything. So sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So no, you're fine. I'm listening to you. Yeah, sometimes a good story is just a good story and doesn't need to really be tinkered with. And
Yeah.
I can see that. I can also see, make sure that the people that are paying to go see the movies have a vested interest too. So
Yeah. But
I can see both sides.
People don't learn that lesson. Like, what I mean, people are the money people don't.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Jackson,
Audience matter.
Jackson, you know what? Whenever I hear a new Jackson Roykirk film coming on, I just shut YouTube off. I don't have to scream. He's actually a really good dude.
Yeah.
Thor 3. What was Thor? Thor 3 was Ragnarok, right? Yes.
Yeah.
And you didn't like it, Trev? I'm sorry. I thought Ragnarok was good, but you know what? Lenny did not like it. And Lenny knows his movies.
And I know, I figured I knew. I knew there's a reason why I like Trev.
So. Trev's a good dude.
Now the Hulk animated movie with was it?
Oh,
was it with Thor and no Wolverine and have you seen that one, the animated movie, Wolverine versus Hulk? You gotta check it out.
No, I don't think I have. I've seen Planet Hulk. I've seen Young Avengers, the cartoon movies or the animated.
There's one where he fights Wolverine.
Phil has a comment on here. He'd rather watch Halle Berry Catwoman and Love and Thunder. Listen, I'll watch Halle Berry anytime, any day of the week, okay? But that was a really bad movie. And it actually almost killed superhero genre for a while because, we had the start of the superhero genre with, the X-Men, Spider-Man, forgive me. Superman came out in the early
78.
Yeah, 78, the best one. But I'm talking about, I think it was Superman. I forget what it was, but it came out early 2000s.
The Superman Returns.
Is that Superman Returns? I know what you're talking about. I don't think I've ever watched it. I have it downstairs. I think it's still covered in cellophane.
I'm sure Dave will straighten us out.
Oh yeah, he will. But anyhow, so there was a start, and then superhero movies kind of, whittled away there for a little bit. I thought
Batman and Robin didn't help.
No, the Batman movies, the Batman Robin, Blade was an amazing movie, but Daredevil, a lot of people didn't care for the montage scene in Daredevil.
I liked it.
I didn't hate it. I really didn't hate that, but whenever Catwoman came out,
good Fisk.
Yeah. But no, I would watch Halle Berry any day. Uh, too
There's
much
John Wick.
humor for Ragnarok.
Fantastic. You can watch, John Wick and see Halle Berry in that too, and actually have a good time.
There was another bad movie that came out in the early 2000s, and that was the Hulk movie. I want this Ang Lee movie.
Yeah.
I remember watching it in the movie theater, and there was a fight scene between the Hulk and this three-headed dog thing, and I don't know, it's been a while since I've seen it. And I just remember, I said something to the person I was watching the movie with. I was like, I can't even see what's going on. It was so dark. And I thought it was just bad lighting, the movie theater. I watched that movie at home, and I'm like, no, this movie just is too dark. Like the screenshot.
It was to hide the bad CG.
It had to been because it was horrible. But I'm hearing all this fighting going on, and it was just So that's what it was for, to hide the bad CG or CGI.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it was one of those movies where like comic book, okay, and then let me make comic book effects. Okay, all right, fans will dig that, but not put much care into anything else.
Yeah, it was weak. But
yeah,
the Art Chemist won a big award on Reggie Collect's show on Wednesday. He was giving giveaways. I forget the question he got right, but
I miss Reggie's show because I can't watch it because of work. But man, I miss joining you guys.
That and we're on the East Coast over here, so the world happens a little bit earlier for us.
So I'm glad you're doing this show, Matt, just to kind of fill the shoe. I mean, Reggie has some big shoes to fill, but I think you're doing a heck of a job. Yeah.
No, I was thinking about
you got to get buff to fill those shoes.
No, I was thinking about doing a live stream for a couple of years now, but I had very, very poor internet service in my house. I had the best that
I remember.
It was just horrendous. But I ended up getting a different service that finally showed up in my area. It's actually there's satellites in outer space.
I was there when you tried, Matt.
What's that?
I was there when you tried with the bad Wi-Fi.
It was so bad.
I joined the chat. Yeah.
But now I'm using satellites that are in outer space. So if you like looking at stars at night, my internet service will make you mad because there's too many of them up there. So
yeah.
My bad. Funding that.
Elon Musk added more.
Yes. Then I hear there's another one getting ready to go up, but not by Musk. But ticket sales are down.
Yeah.
Hey, Richard, thanks for showing up. I have a feeling I'm way behind in the chat. Oh my gosh, I'm way behind. But
even though Joe doesn't want me to say anything about Shazam, my quick and fast review is it's a good family movie. So if you have kids, go check it out. There's some scary stuff though, but
really?
But I think don't let the scores deter you. I mean I think it's a good movie, and I've heard a lot of critics and and YouTube reviewers like it. So I don't know why the numbers are so low, in terms of reviews.
I'm out here in flyover country, and I don't really put a whole lot of thought into what their critics have to say, because the critics live in a different world than a lot of people. And sometimes they're right. Please don't get me wrong. Sometimes they're just so far off. And, I'm definitely going to give Shazam a watch. I don't know if I'll go to the movie theaters to watch it, but definitely. I watch pretty much everything except Superman Returns. Where's Dave? Dave and Doug couldn't make it tonight. They wanted to let everyone know that they'll be here next week, or I forget exactly what they said.
Oh, Tina. What'd you do to Tina, Phil?
I think the last one, I'm sorry, Tina, be careful. I think the last film we saw in theaters was Endgame. Too pricey, and COVID is still a real fear for us, especially with the little guy.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
No seat is better than my cushy couch, okay? Can't be wrong with that. That definitely, I think, is still having a major effect on ticket sales.
Yeah, no, totally. And that's understandable.
Completely.
But the theaters also need to step up with, I mean, a lot have, like AMC, you have like reclining seats and all that good stuff. but they still need to like crack down on people with their cell phones in the theater, and you know stuff like that. If they really want people to move away from their comfortable setups at home, they got to step it up, like to make moving going worthwhile.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, because you're right. They need to incentivize people. But collecting with Durs, good to see you. Beautiful homies. He must be talking about someone other than me. Okay. Gave you some plugs on me show. Hey, thanks, Dur. Durs. Thanks, Dur. I can't even speak. Okay.
Now, what kind of plugs? No,
yeah.
Hey,
Whoa, wait.
hey, it's a family show.
What's going on here, Phil? What? I went to the drive-in to see Love and Thunder. Had a great time. To me, that is a fun outing. There's a drive-in movie theater. It's like 10 miles down the road from my house. Love going to that thing. The wife, kid, and I will go once or twice a summer. Not too often, but whenever I was in high school, they used to have a $5 carload night. And
nice, yeah.
We weren't like breaking the rules. It was $5 carload, but we would pack cars. And that movie theater, at drive-in theater, it was still packed. There weren't room for more cars. I remember riding in the trunk of my friend's car one time. We all drove to a common spot, and then we just piled into one or two cars and drove the mile to the drive-in. Yeah, I remember getting out of a trunk 2 or 3 times because, well, it was my turn.
Yeah. Are there any left in your neck of the woods, like drive-in?
That's what I'm saying. About 10 miles down the road, I still go.
Oh, 10 miles. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha. Yeah. There's like one left. I think it's like a 40-minute drive from me. So.
Well, where you're at, real estate is a lot more valuable, and I don't know that a movie theater is a drive-in is the way to make money in that real estate. So
yeah.
I could see that being a hard one, but
yeah.
Here, that movie theater I'm talking about, it's been there probably since the 40s, 50s, and it's it's still making money.
Yeah.
Let's see, Trev, old Trev right here. Ta-da!
I wonder what they're talking about there. Yeah, that's more of an experience, Steve.
Yeah, driving would be fun. Don't have any around here that I know of. Phil, you're gonna have to come visit me, then we'll go to drive-in.
There you go.
I think I just asked Phil.
We should pack as many.
Phil on a date. Did that just happen?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, man. That's all right.
Hey, Phil's a good guy.
To quote Seinfeld, not that there's anything wrong with that.
Trev, how old am I? Well, Trev, I'll be if you ask Tina, she'll give you one number, and I'll give another number to other people. Okay. How old am I? Should I answer that, Lenny?
Well, you have to give 2 numbers, biologically or mentally. How old you are?
That is a good one. All right, let's see. Is anyone? Hey, there's Madam Blaster. She's going to be the guest on the show in 2 weeks. Okay, I think April 2nd. So
nice.
All right, so here's what I'm going to say. Trev and I was way behind, and Matt Woods is definitely a criminal. Okay, this is true.
A smooth criminal.
And people in the chat, just start guessing my age. I'm kind of curious what people say. Phil, just watch my. Roy Kirk kills me, man. He's got the best, little slams there. Seth, if you're going to ask Phil on a date, let me know you're chaperone for the 2 of you guys. You know what? We might need a chaperone. Yeah, I don't even know if Phil's still in the chat. Does he even know that I
watch
just
the hands, Matt? Watch the hands, Matt.
Uh-oh, my video went. Let's see. Steve White, he's saying 52.
Hey, Mike, something quick.
Trev, 57. I like that, Trev. Let's see, Seth, 48. All right. Gary B. Okay, but Gary, I think I told you. I think because Gary B and I have met each other. So Gary B got it right. I am 46.
Wow. I did not.
How old did you think
That's
I was?
More like it.
Yeah. SOB. All right, Trev. I'm going to rip this sticker. 57. What the
Did
hell?
you really rip it, or you just made the sound?
Oh, no. I just made the sound.
Oh, okay. You sold that well.
No, I like Trev. I'm not ripping that. Well, boy. Hey, here's a new name. Valerie Henderson. Welcome to the channel. But Jackson's still making guesses. So anyhow, why don't you pull a book out of there and we'll see what your
Oh, sorry. So I rarely look at my books anymore. So I'm like, oh, it's probably a good time now that. Ooh, that's pretty cool.
Ooh, Batman.
And the New 52 0 year. Yeah, because that's one of the things I like doing in my collection. Just take out a random box and just start flipping through them just to look what I've what I have. Like this. That's cool.
Suicide Squad. I've never read one Suicide Squad comic book. I mean, I love the movies, even the ones that people didn't like.
There's some good ones. Yeah, there's some good ones.
Is it a good
I can recommend. Yeah, there's some good ones. But Ostrander and so there's the current one I read too. I gotta look up. I forgot who wrote it, but
Trev, I didn't rip it. Don't worry, Trevor. I'm just messing with you.
Hey,
what if picking up?
What if they do this?
How fun would that be?
I wonder. It's like, well, if they do, then ka-ching.
Yes. Well, the X-Men are coming. I mean, they're kind of pseudo in the MCU. At least, Xavier is.
Disney's desperate for. Yeah. I think I have the whole run. Look at this. I think I have the whole run in this box. Interesting. What box is this? 15? Oh, okay. Box 15. I got to remember that. I mean, I keep track of them on CLZ, so I don't have to remember.
Hey, Irate Madman has a question for you. What's your favorite series?
What kind of series? TV series? Comic series?
Oh, he doesn't specify. So I'm going to go comic book.
Just to run?
Now, Irate Madman says he's going to get that tomorrow. He's excited to read it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right.
There's some good stuff there. There's this one short Batman run series that I really like. It's called Venom. It's in the Legends of the Dark Knight series.
Okay.
Where to do like some random story, like one-offs and all that stuff. But this one, Venom, the stuff that Bane takes to make himself look like Reggie. Yeah, well, before Bane, actually, Batman, took some of that because Batman encountered one of his earliest failures where because of his physical limitation, he just couldn't rescue this girl. So he goes to a scientist that offered him the venom, the very same stuff. And this predates Venom. Oh, sorry, Bane. So he gets hooked, and So I like that because we finally got to see Batman fail, and we got to see how he took that failure. Because oftentimes,
what are you talking about? He just has.
He's human, man.
Yeah,
human amongst gods. So, but that's
he's the only human amongst all of the superheroes in DC.
Yeah, because you have like the Grant Morrison run where he's like a bat god. He's like he never makes mistakes. He always has a plan. He's like 100 steps ahead. So, but this one he actually, because of his, and obviously he envies Clark because if it was Clark, he would have been able to save that girl. So that was a good mini series. It's like a 4-parter. So it's called Venom.
You've convinced me. I need to be on the lookout for that. I'm going to try to find it.
Yeah.
Now, Madam Blaster is asking, what is your favorite TV show? And I'm going to tell you, I'm going off script. I'm not going to do a comic
book.
What
script, Matt? We've been going off script since you started.
Yeah, what script? We threw it away. Script. We don't need no script.
Yeah.
Hollywood. This is the only thing we need. We need a sexy, pretty sexy fly guy here. That's all we need. But I've been actually really digging Yellowstone. And
Ooh.
I've never watched it until like a couple months ago. Not only did I binge 1883, I binged 1923. Then I binged all 5 seasons of, or at least the first 4.5 seasons of the regular show.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of that. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm digging this like modern western.
But I would have to subscribe to Paramount's streaming service.
Yeah, I have that in Peacock, and I got rid of my cable a few months ago or a year ago.
You should probably get it back.
Well, now I have Disney Plus, I have Paramount, I have Peacock, I have Amazon, I have Netflix. I'm like, what the frick? Okay, like,
You know what I've
what's going
discovered
on?
recently, Matt?
What's that?
Have you heard of Pluto?
Pluto? No.
TV?
Uh-uh.
It's pretty much cable again, where it's just like appointment
I don't
watching.
mind YouTube TV. I mean, it seems to be
No, but
replacing.
the thing with Pluto, it's free. Okay.
I like this. Okay, I can put
And
more money in the comic books.
and the channels are specific to a TV show. Like there's an I Love Lucy channel that we watch. There's a I like Tosh from Tosh.0. There's a Tosh.0 channel.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
I love Daniel Tosh.
there's a paranormal channel.
X-Files
Dude,
channel.
so yeah, they don't have a channel for every show, but they may have an X-Files channel.
Yeah, but let's see what I think. Deadpool 3 will bring the X-Men into the MCU and will be the swan song of the Fox universe. I can see that. But
never say never.
Yeah, never say never.
Yeah, back up the right amount of money in that Brinks truck. They can bring back anybody.
You never know. Okay, let's see. Jackson likes Legends
Yes.
Venom. Yes.
Yes.
All right, Jackson, you got a couple cool points here. Okay,
it's a little
dated. I guess
some
we'll
stuff
keep you around.
There's a lot of stuff that's very 80s, but once you get past all that stuff, it's a good read.
Bats has to break his addiction to the juice.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
I'm glad. All right, okay. Because not a lot of people know that. Like that. A lot of people, like refer to Hush and all the typical go-tos for a good Batman series. So I'm glad someone else knows about that. I'm sure a lot of people know about that.
Funk Comics 814. He's talking my area code. This guy must be local. Good to see you in the chat, Funk Comics. But I keep on getting behind on the chat. Okay.
One of the earlier Punchline issues. That's cool. This is 98. She came out in 89. Batman 89. So that's a cool one. Yeah, I'm wondering if
watching The Last of Us. That's a
yeah.
I think it's a zombie show.
Yeah, it's like Walking Dead, but heavier on the drama.
Okay. Now, Trev's talking about a great show, Reacher. I absolutely did enjoy that.
Yeah.
It's a different Jack Reacher than what I know from the books, but it's still really fun. And I can't think of the actor who plays him, but he's a
I only know of Tom Cruise as Jack Reacher.
Yeah, well, yeah, Tom Cruise did him.
I think the Reacher guy is the guy who played Hawk in Teen Titans, or I'm sorry, Titans in that HBO Titans series. I think the actress who played Hawk plays Reacher. I think my dad will like this cover.
Oh yeah.
See if she likes it. It's kind of monochromatic. I like the reflection right there. So
that is pretty cool.
I love just taking a random short box and just look through, see what I have.
We'll see if Madam likes it. But right now, what's your favorite show right now?
Ooh. That's interesting.
Tubi.
I do like Last of Us, but is that because I'm doing a whole '90s rewatch? I'm watching like Boy Meets World and Home Improvement, and so I'm still finding those shows vastly entertaining. But shows right now,
want to give a shout out to Chop and Drop, great guy.
I did enjoy House of the Dragon. I know they're off season right now. It's the Game of Thrones spinoff.
Okay.
And, Ted Lasso, that's a good one. Because
did you like Squid Games?
I'm kind of squeamish when I see like gore for gore's sake.
Yeah, there's definitely
I know you guys saw and all that stuff. So, and I've seen Running Man. To me, that's it's like I'm good. I'd rather rewatch Running Man than I don't know. Maybe someday I will.
Yeah,
when I have time.
So, have you seen Squid Games?
No.
Oh, okay.
So that's a long way of saying no.
Yeah, that was a long way. But no, there was without a doubt.
I got to bring up Running Man, so I'm glad I took that journey.
Somebody's saying hey to Bay, and I missed it. Is Comics by the Bay in the chat? Oh, I might have missed him.
Hey,
I got to do my scrolling.
Is Beyonce in the chat?
She watches, but she doesn't chat a whole lot.
I know.
She DMs me later. Her and Hallie, yeah. But Jackson. So Mandalorian, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's another one. I've been watching that, but I haven't got excited about the Mandalorian.
I'm not caught up, but yeah, that's what I've been hearing, that people are too excited. Oh, that's interesting. That's cool.
Oh, Saga. That's such a well-written book.
This is 44. Yeah, I'm a sucker for this. Now that I have a daughter, so this is kind of cool.
Yeah,
and my daughter's into ballet, so I would hold her up like this sometimes.
Gary B's talking about the old Logan's Run TV show.
Yeah, there you go.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it. I've watched the movie, obviously, but I watched a movie yesterday just because Gary B's been recommending it for a couple of years. That's Fire and Ice, and it's 1983 animated movie. It's about, I don't know, kind of like Sword and Sorcery, but such an awesome flick. So Gary, thanks for recommending that.
Fire and Ice. Huh. Yeah. I can't wait for it to come back. Speaking of fire,
Spinner Rack Studios. He sees Jackson's on. Oh, check out that book.
Yeah,
Firepower.
This is by Robert Kirkman, the guy that did Walking Dead, and he did like a kung fu modern like this is a dad who has like kung fu skills, so it speaks to me.
Okay, I wasn't sure if he was wearing a straight jacket or what in that cover.
Oh, it's a hood. It's a hoodie.
Yeah. Dave Bratton, you were talked about, buddy.
There he is.
Dave, what was the early 2000s Superman movie called? Was it Superman Returns? I almost don't think they would have done that because there was Batman Returns like 10 years earlier. But Spinner Rack Studios, great seeing you.
We can just look it up, but yeah, there's no fun.
It's a lot more fun whenever the chat helps us out.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Oh, okay.
Tubi TV. Okay, so you can watch the old
that's another
on Tubi TV.
Tubi is like Pluto. So
okay.
Start looking into those apps, Tubi, Pluto, and there's one more. I can't remember. But they're free, and if you're the type
Seth cracks me up. Well, you tell her back, okay? Tell her we said hi back.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell Jay-Z about that comment.
Yes.
Yo, Jay.
Jay-Z is awesome. I like to read stuff about Jay-Z. People that are successful, a lot more successful than me, I like to know how they got to be there.
Yeah. Half of it's luck, half of it's, hard work. A
lot of hard work, and it's just having talent.
See, when hard work, when luck comes around, that's when hard work kind of
plays a part. Yeah, I believe people make their own luck, though.
Well, you get the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Ooh, this is a key issue actually. First appearance of this fella.
The Monsters.
Yeah, Gotham City Monsters. That's cool. Wait, who liked Firepower? Steve White? Yeah.
Steve White and Spinnerack Studios.
I'm still trying to catch up though. It's hard for me to read books nowadays. Now that my kids are into like
Returns. Yep.
Yes.
The wife bought that for me. Now I'm thinking about it. That was like a Christmas present. And I've never taken it out of the cellophane. So it's downstairs. Okay. It'll probably become a major eBay hit, and I'll be able to sell it for probably $1 or $2 here if I just wait in time for the market to hit right. Yes. I'll make tens and tens of pennies.
Yeah, make it rain in pennies. That's gonna hurt.
Horrible script, but he was a good Superman, just Lex Luthor again.
Yeah.
Talking about Batman Return or Superman Returns.
Yeah, the Superman in that movie, Brandon Routh, he's actually Adam in CW's Legends of Tomorrow, who got to play Kingdom Come Superman in one of their crossovers.
Oh, sweet!
So it was cool seeing him, Kingdom Come Superman with the graying sideburns.
But hey, thanks for stopping by, madam.
Yeah. But eat up.
In 2 weeks, we're going to be doing a back and forth. I'm going to be saying the 10 things that should make people want to collect comic books. She's going to say the 10 things that should make people not want to collect comic books. So we're going to do a little bit of back and forth on that one. That's going to be a fun show. I'm looking forward to that one. But Roth was a great
I'm sure
having
these
story.
everywhere, Matt. I'm sure having these everywhere is at the top of her list.
Well, she needs to start making comic book cabinets. Okay, makes it so much easier.
Or you should start doing start doing a service, Matt, where you make comic
book cabinets. I couldn't touch right now the Classy Collector. Okay, if you look him up on IG, at the Classy Collector, amazing. I think his name's Tim. Okay, he does very professional comic book cabinets. Lee Atkins has his whole comic book room done up in these things. They're so cool.
Yeah, I'm not good with hands and tools. So
he makes them for you and he delivers them. But they're professional grade, cabinets.
Yeah.
These back here, guys, anyone who's actual a carpenter or a cabinet maker, they're gonna see, these are crap. I built them cheap. I built them quick. I had specifications. I didn't want them to be heavy. I don't mind them looking like they do in my comic book shop or my comic book room, but I would not put those, in a common area in the house. They're cool here, but there are better options than what I have here.
Now let me ask you this: how long have you had that cabinet?
I built them spring of 2020. I think March. I was already starting to redo this room whenever COVID hit. And I remember it was March 13th, 2020, when basically the state of Pennsylvania shut down. Teachers were off for supposed to be 1 week, then it was 2 weeks, and then we know what happened. But
it's still standing?
Yeah.
Then it's good. Then it's good.
Then you're good. But I was already starting to remodel this room. But then whenever COVID hit, I could put my 8-hour days in this room, and I did. I knocked it out, pretty quick.
Now, are you planning on extending that, or are you are you planning on extending the cabinet, like adding more compartments to it, or?
Well, I estimate that they'll hold up 12,000 comics. Wow. I think I'm a couple thousand comic books away from that right now. Okay. So whenever I get there, we'll see.
When you have 12,001, then you have one too many.
Yes. That's it exactly. And yes, they are still standing. All right.
Spinner Rex. Nice.
Mm-hmm. But
Oh man, I would love to have my own spinner rack somewhere in this room.
they are amazing. But hey, thank you,
Yeah,
Seth
maybe it's for nostalgic.
and Trev. But Tina, you know what? I'm like an onion. Okay, there's like a lot of layers to me. But I was a carpenter at one point in my life. Okay, I've had quite a few different jobs.
Dude, you got Woods in your name.
That's
Come
what
on.
Jackson says.
Yes. See,
Nice
great
job.
minds think alike. Great minds think alike.
Oh my
All right?
gosh,
He
I'm
likes
actually
Venom.
the Jackson
He's
Roy curve
witty.
quantified. Yeah.
That's cool. That's funny.
Yes, and
But
they
yeah,
are on a load-bearing wall. That is correct. I was actually Steve's talking about that. That's one of the criteria for these. Is this is my second story of the house here, so they're not sitting on a slab. I have to make sure, and I did estimate the weight. I got out my engineering books, okay, and I estimated the weight that the floor joists could comfortably handle. So
yeah.
a little bit went
That's why.
into
That's
that.
why I spread my boxes around because they're on the second floor too. I got to spread them around.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to be wise about that.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yes, I am. This guy cracks me up.
Yeah, I knew there was a joke there somewhere when you said that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yeah, I've heard
Jackson's
that.
a kindred spirit. He's a kindred spirit.
Phil, I'm glad you're back. I think I asked you out on a date earlier in the show, Phil. So, it's up to you, buddy.
Man,
He's like,
you're gonna have
what?
a busy calendar by the end of this stream. Keep
Right.
asking these guys out.
But Phil just heard me. He's like, what is going on? You're gonna have to watch the replay, Phil. but anyhow, we're gonna
what were we talking about?
We don't even know, but we run this show for about an hour. Pretty fly. It is great to see you on here. I have to shout out the great show, the DC Crowd, with you, Dave Bratton, on this other guy's channel. What's the other guy's channel?
Joe something. Anachronic Bubonic.
Anna Bubonic. Yes. He's a bubonic man. Okay. I know. But Anachronic Comics YouTube channel, which is such an awesome channel to be a part of. Okay.
Yeah. So, and we have an episode of Shazam review coming up. So keep an eye out.
I have a question. Did you do the editing for the next DC Watch show?
The next? No, the next one will be live.
Okay, because that last show, buddy, I was just sitting there watching it amazed with
thanks, man.
all the transitions and all the changes. And that was so fun. But I'm going to have to put you on payroll because I want my videos to look that good.
You have some editing skills, man.
Yeah, I do, but I'm using Apple Movie Maker or whatever. I watch or whatever.
EFD. I mean, it's how you use it. It's like, and what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, that's the reason why we have added live because it takes forever to make those videos that you like watching so much. It takes a while. So you know what? Instead of killing me and having something like a review, because those are more like, until while the iron is hot, I can't take like a month trying to cut a review episode. So let's just do some live, some are more editorial,
Well, whenever I win Powerball for like $2 billion or whatever it is in my magical world that I'm going to win it, you are going to be, on the payroll, and your job is going to be to edit my YouTube videos.
Now you got to beat what's Joe paying me though.
Well, if I win the Powerball, I hope I can beat what Joe's paying. But...
you just need a scratcher to be what Joe's paying me, which is
right. 0. Okay. But so you want to tell people, what you have coming up here and where they can find you on social media.
I mentioned about 20 times in this during this live show. The DC Watch Gang will be doing a Shazam 2 movie review. we might start with non-spoilers to give people a chance to kind of switch out once we head to the spoiler territory. Pretty flu. I like that. I like that version.
You're right.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Phil. Thank you.
Yep.
Can I give a shout out?
Oh, go ahead.
Can I give a shout out to Spencer, your cameraman? Like his it's been an hour and I haven't seen the camera shake. So good job, Spencer, for holding that camera.
I'm looking at him in the background. He does a great job. Okay, and I got to figure out. I need to get his intro or intro at the beginning of this live stream here.
Oh yeah, talk to Joe. He knows how to squeeze those intros in during the live shows.
Yeah. Lager style. It's good seeing you, dude. Right whenever we're about ready to wrap it up. But so, where can they find you on IG?
It's actually not Pretty Fly for a Filipino Guy,
no,
but my IG page is I Got the Comics Run. I do have a pretty.
If you search Pretty Fly, your name pops up.
Yeah, but that's more of my family account or Instagram, because I've had Pretty Fly for a Filipino Guy name since the Offspring song came out. Actually, I have a funny story. I had to apply for a bank job at Washington Mutual, and I had to fill out the job application, and they asked for an email. I was like, Pretty Fly for a Filipino Guy. So I'm like, I gotta have a more professional email, and I didn't get that job, obviously. But.
Yeah, I've done a few things where I put down Matt Woods Comics as my email. I'm like,
oh really?
Oh yeah, and I'm like, I have a work email that I use for everything, but now I have this other email as Matt Woods Comics for just some other things that I didn't want to use my professional email for. Yeah, for my comics.
So I do have a Pretty Fly for a Filipino Guy, but if you're there for comics, it might be a little boring for you. But I got the comics runs. Yeah, that's more of my comic Instagram page.
Yeah, but well, you know what, Lenny, it is great talking to you. You're
likewise, my friends.
Now I do have a question. Are you going to be on the comic book crowd on March 30th, 31st?
I don't know yet. No, Joe hasn't hit me up yet. So
okay, because you've been a great guest on many of those episodes.
They're so much fun. I mean, I enjoy DC Watch, but that's more like serious stuff. But this is more like this show. I get to kind of cut loose and just do whatever, and I don't have to sound intelligent in this show. So
right.
But I got when you have Dave with all his comic book knowledge, and you got Joe, with his the way he hosts, and he also has some good comic info. I got to step up when I'm in those shows. But here, Comic Crowd and this show, I got to I can hang my feet up, and
I cut loose on a comic book crowd on purpose because the conversation will get really serious. And I'm like, we need.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
And I can hold my own. When I talk for a living, okay, I can hold my own if I need to, but I don't want to. I just want to have fun. So
yeah, and it brings me to when you hang out at comic book shops, which I do less of now. So it's good that we have these channels. Even though they're virtual.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But hey guys, we're gonna sign out here, and everybody, thanks for watching, and you have a great night.
See you. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.